Alright, video just to tell you guys about um, how come we're doing so poorly in the black community. Um, Something happened that we weren't paying attention, and the revolution wasn't televised. Absolutely wasn't televised. Um, Somebody came in and just took over. Not as a mean person, just a business savvy person. Who was it? I don't know, because we blew it as black people. We have to figure this out. Who was it that came in and took over? It was this man. This man came in and took over. Not in a mean way, but in a business savvy way. This is not anything to belittle anyone. This is just telling the truth. This man came in, and as a savvy business person, came in and basically gutted the black community. Basically with his actions, because he came in, dropped businesses on the black community. There's no trade balance. He brings in business and he takes money out of this community, brings no money to this community, spends no money in this community. So basically, he just basically has a big funnel, and the funnel goes from our community to his community. When you see this man in the banks in the black community, this man is only standing in one line, and that's the merchant window line. He doesn't bank and do any type of transactions other than banking for his business in the black community. He even brings his own lunch from his own community to this community. So that's nothing wrong with that. Just saying this is the reality of what happened. And to us, this is what it looks like. Hi, I'm here to take all of your money out of your community and keep you broke and impoverished, because that's what's happening. Black people are broken and impoverished, and they stay broken and impoverished. Why? Because there's such a high trade deficit with this man here that we can never overcome it. Secondly, it sounds like this to us. By the way, I won't be spending any of my money in your community with any black businesses, so you will always have a huge trade deficit. We always have a huge trade deficit, because like I said, this man, and I'm not saying anything to be evil, I'm just telling the truth. This man does not spend any money because he recognizes the business sense of not doing that. He needs to keep his community moving. So in order to do that, he has to not spend money with you. That's just community economics. That's just community economics. They as a group, this man as a group, his community understands that. So it's not a mean thing, or this man wants to be mean to black people. It's not that. It's just a business. It's a business understanding that thriving communities understand this business principle. The black community, since it's never been thriving, well, it was thriving during Jim Crow, but since Jim Crow was dismantled, everybody went scattered everywhere. It has not been thriving, so everybody understand that. When we were forced to spend money with each other, we had black millionaires all over the place. But now, since we can, it's so hard for any one of us to accomplish anything. Till we have to go into other communities and try to do business with them just to survive. Anyway, this is not, like I said, not to slight anyone, but just to say the truth. The revolution definitely was not televised, because basically we're surrounded, as black people, we're surrounded in our own community. How so? Let me ask you, what are you doing for yourself? What do you do for yourself? What can you do for yourself in your community? Let me show you what this man is doing for you in your own community. This man is frying your chicken. This man is frying your fish. This man controls all your hair care products. This man controls all your beauty supply and beauty salons. This man controls 100% of your nail shops. This man controls the Chinese food. This man controls almost all the convenience stores, almost all the gas stations, almost all the cleaners, almost all the corner markets. Getting into the real estate business in the black community, all the liquor stores are controlled by this man. He's even frying your burgers, giving you fries and hot dogs. Like I said, you are completely and 100% encompassed or surrounded by this man and everything he has. And all of these things, all of these businesses take all this money out. There's no more. I have never seen more money than on a Friday night at any one of these type of businesses in the black community. There's more cash flowing through all of these places than anybody can imagine. It's better than Fort Knox. But that money you see, you just stand in front of the nail shop or the beauty supply or the hair care place or the fish market or the chicken shack, and you just watch all this cash flying out the window. Sometimes they have to have the son or the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law working at these places just to carry the load, because there's so many black people in there just giving over all their money. You rich that one day you get paid, you're rich, and then you broke that same night because you done spent all your money, and this man just carries all that money away and puts it into his bank in his neighborhood. The only time he ever goes banking to the banks in your neighborhood is when he needs change or something like that. It's never to actually do any banking to put money actually in. There's only money in his merchant account to kind of so he can get change and whatnot from you. So that's how you are totally surrounded. So, and it's not a mean thing, it's just business savvy. This man is just business smart, and he just got you under a barrel, over a barrel, as they say. Got you over a barrel. You can't do anything. Look, you can't eat any chicken, you can't eat any fish, you can't do your hair, you can't get your hair done, you can't get your nails done, you can't eat Chinese food, you can't go to the convenience store for soap, water, whatever. You can't get gas, you can't clean your clothes. I mean, you can't do it. You can't even rent an apartment. You can't get all your 40 ounces and your lotto tickets. You can't even eat all the nasty fried food that we love so much without this man right here. We have let this man come in and take over. Like I said, the revolution was not televised. You thought Gil Scott-Heron was talking about you, but he was actually talking about you on the other side. You thought it was one way, but it's the other way. Okay, what's left for us? Since this man is doing all of this for us, and we can't even break into these businesses in our own communities, what's left for us? Well, let's take a look at how it's gonna go. Okay, since we have all that happening, we actually can't have anything happening. We have political leaders can't do anything for us. Why? Because you need a community. You need a drop-off point for any promises that a political person can make. You need a drop-off point. You need a community, a strong community that you can have to say, if you can make a threat of loss. You can say, if you don't do XYZ, we're going to pull our support. You can't do that in the black community. The political leaders say, so what? You don't even have a community to back you up. Only thing you have is different people who are backed by different members of other communities who back their little organizations, and that's it. Those are the spokesmen for black people. Other than that, you have nothing. You have no community, which means you have no political influence. No political influence, you have no economic base. To have political influence, you have to have you have to have money to support a political candidate. You don't have no money to support no political candidate. You have the money, but you're spending it with this man right here. This man has almost all your money. Your money doesn't even bounce one time in your own community, because this man gets it. He's there to get it. When you get paid, he's standing right there. He's standing right there to get your money. He has your money, and he takes it to his community, and he makes his community successful. Not to be angry with him, not to put him and say to him he's a bad person. I'm not saying that this man is a bad person. What I'm saying is this man is business smart, and we need to get business smart to be competitive with this man, and not only him but everybody else that's on the scene too. Okay, you have no political influence and no economic base. No economic base means no jobs. So now you have no community. You have no drop-off point. Even if Obama wins the next election, what can he do for you? He can promise you whatever he wants to. He has no place to drop it off. If you had a community, he could come into that community with a wagon saying, I brought you what you promised me. Here it is. with no community, you scattered everywhere. He don't have to bring nothing nowhere. He don't have nowhere to bring anything. Poor brother, if he wanted to help you, can't help you because he has nowhere to drop anything off to you. He'd have to drop 42 million things off to 42 different million black people. He doesn't have it. He can't do that. He has no political leader could do that. And it's ignorant of us to think of that a political leader could do that. So we have to make it easy for our political leaders by becoming a community. Right? Right. That makes sense. Now, back to what we were talking about here, which is no economic base equals no jobs. With no jobs, I mean, where are you going to get? What are you going to do? If we have no jobs in our community, we're going to have to do like we always do. We tell our children, go to school, get a job so you can go beg somebody else in another community for a job. Well, what about the people in that community and their children? Don't their children need jobs? I mean, that's going to cause friction because their children need jobs too. You have an influx of immigrant workers. You have an influx of this man, his community is growing. And then this man is not going to hire you nowhere, anywhere. Their community will never hire you. The only time they're going to come looking for you is when they need vices. Other than that, they're not never coming looking for you for nothing. They'll build their own roofs. They'll do their own plumbing. They'll do everything. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. So we need to get with that program. Anyway, with no jobs, what are we in our community? We have to go out of our community, and we have no jobs in our community because we have, like I said, no economic base. We don't spend money with each other to create an economic base so that the money can start flowing, and we could, for example, the Jewish community or our brown brothers and sisters community, where they spend money with each other, the base is high. That's why the government. That's why all of these political leaders always sit down with them. When they sit down with black people, it's just a formality. It's just a dog and a pony show. They never deliver anything that they say they're going to deliver, and how can they? Because we don't have a community to accept it. We don't have a place where he can pull up with whatever he promised in a wagon and say, "Here it is. I brought it to you like you asked me to." So that's why they always promise you everything and never deliver anything. It's not only their fault, it's our fault because we don't have a community, and we don't have a way to threaten them with the loss of our support if they don't do what we say, like every other community can, because they have an economic base. Now, back to this, no economic base equals no jobs. Well, we all know that no jobs equals high crime. If you have a high crime rate, you cannot possibly have a community that's functioning properly. And with no community, we're back on this whole little merry-go-round right here. This is something that we need to look at, man, so we can try to do something about it. Supporting black businesses is the only option that we have to try to do anything about this. Because as all these different populations grow, they are going to not using black people. They're not going to use black people anymore. So what is that going to mean for our children? What is that going to mean for us? That means you're not going to be able to go beg anybody else and say, you got to hire me. The government is loosening up, and they're not going to force people to hire black people anymore. Right now they have to force you. They're forcing people to hire black people. That's going to go away. And then what? Then we're going to be like was always said, a permanent underclass where there's nothing left for you. If you want to eat, you're going to have a life of crime. You're going to have to. It's either going to be eating or surviving. You're going to live like Sounder. We're just going to be like the movie Sounder or the book Sounder. If you want to eat something, if you want to have something nice, you're going to have to get into crime. That's it. And we're already out there now, but it's going to be even worse if we don't do something about it now. All right. Well, I kind of went into the solution a little bit, but let's see what's the solution. Well, like I said, the solution is, number one, we're going to have to start doing business with each other. I mean, we're going to have to do business with each other, and we're going to have to stop supporting other communities by driving there to spend our money and to create jobs and wealth there. And because we're so surrounded, we're going to have to stop supporting the businesses that are not black in the black community. We're going to have to stop doing it, or we're going to have to stop doing it little by little. I mean, we're just gonna have to do it. I don't care how much they smile at you or anything. look past the smile and look and see how much money they spending in the black community trying to create jobs or spending with other black vendors. They're not spending no money with us. So stop it. I don't care how nice they are to you. Of course they're nice to you. You're paying for their BMW or you're paying for their Mercedes Benz. They're just driving a little rickety van to that place where they own right there. Trust me, their house doesn't look anything like your house because it's on a hill somewhere. It's big. It's nice. You and I have to live, crazy because we have no money. Anyway, that's the first thing. We got to stop supporting other communities. It's like other communities, like I heard somebody say that other communities have two incomes. That man has two incomes. He has the income that he has from his own community and our income. It's like if they have a big funnel right there in the black community, and all black people just might as well just dump their money as soon on payday. Just dump your money in the funnel. They have the big funnel right there that goes to that man's community, and just everybody has to pull up and just dump all their paycheck right in there. I mean, you might as well. It's basically the same thing. So to stop it, we have to stop supporting all these people and spending our money. We got to create jobs with each other. That's the only way we're going to hire each other. We're going to be able to hire each other and do anything. If you go into our brown brothers and sisters community, it's only them working. You don't find black businesses in the brown community. You don't find black business in the Asian community. You don't find black business in the white community. The only community you find everybody else working and taking money out is the black community. You cannot break into none of those other communities. You can't do it. They will not do it. And it's not that they're mean. It's just they have a natural taught thing that they know that they're not supposed to support your community. They're not going to take that money and support your community. They're not going to do it. So we have to get with that program. They're not wrong for that. We're the ones that keep thinking that they're wrong. They're not the wrong ones. We're the wrong ones for giving them all our money. You understand? All right. Number 2, we got to spend as much of our money as we can with black vendors. We got to we have to start doing that. Now, everybody's not going to be right. Everybody's not going to be good. Everybody's not going to be good business people. But just like today, I had to go to a printer. I went up to one black printer. The guy wouldn't even look at me. He was talking to somebody, having a good time. I waited. This was the first time me going to the brother. I tried to give the brother my business. He was close. I tried to give him my business. He stood there looking at me like I was crazy. He didn't even open the door. He had a big gate on the door, an iron rod gate on the door, and he didn't even give me a look. So what I did was I said, okay, I don't have to take this. I know that I'm smart. I don't have to take that. I know where there's about 3 or 4 other black printers, and I left. And then within 15 minutes I was at another printer, got everything I needed to get done. So you don't have to go to somebody just because they're black. You could try to go to them because they're black, but if they don't do you right, trust me, I know that there's somebody else out there, and you can use our website to find them. We'll help you find them. If you can't find them, we'll help you find them if they're not on our site. So I don't care what city you in. I don't care what state you're in. We'll help you find it. If you call us and contact us, we'll help you find a black person to do what you need done. Next thing, like I said, spend your money, as much of your money as you can with black vendors, so they'll create jobs. You spend money with that black person, they'll be able to hire other black people, and then just go from there. And then we'll just keep circulating the money with ourselves instead of going to all these big box retailers and to the man I was showing you, who has all the corner stores and all these other different businesses in the black community right there waiting with a catcher's mitt for you on payday. The last thing is, we have to create jobs in our community by supporting black businesses, so we don't have to go out begging for jobs. We have to go right now because of the situation. We didn't jump on this situation 20 years ago. Every job we get, we got to beg. We got to go out of our community to go beg somebody else for a job. Now, you need to really think. I mean, these people have people in their own community that need jobs. How are they going to justify to the people in their own community that they're going to be picking you up? They're going to be hiring you. They're not. I mean, it's just not. We have to get on the program, get on the bus. I mean, we're just not thinking clearly. and we have to think clearly, and we have to sacrifice and say, okay, maybe I can't go to this ABC big box retailer and buy this soap, but I know there's a black person somewhere with an incense shop or something. They have black soap or they have other soaps, shea butter, whatever. We have to just think like that, outside the box, because we're thinking in the box and we're boxed up. We're boxed in and we're never going to get anywhere. So these are just some things to think about. I didn't mean to offend anybody, but I just wanted to tell the truth. I wanted us to wake up so that we could see that we have things that we need to do so that we won't, our children, we won't be a permanent underclass, and it won't be nothing left for our children but to get caught up in the prison system and work for 18 cents an hour. So to make other people in other communities rich. I want us to avoid that program, because that program is already on. They're not building more schools, they're building more prisons, and so school is not the answer. Our perspective is the answer, and once we get the right perspective, then we can make the right plans and we can execute those plans. So anyway, didn't mean to get into another long-winded conversation. Just wanted to shed some light on some things, easy things that we could do. This is easy, just going and supporting each other. It's easy. We see what's in front of us, so this is an easy thing that we do. Just want to shed some light on what we could do to help ourselves and our children get jobs. If we're going to get jobs, if we're going to go forth and try to get employment, for ourselves, instead of trying to go and beg another community, can you please hire me, can you please. I mean, they're going to get tired of that. One day they're going to get tired and say, man, what are you doing? They have a person like Mr. Romney that gets in office. Man, that's like number one on their list, is to stop all of that. And eventually one of them gonna get in there, and then what? They're gonna just they're gonna cut the hose off, and then we're gonna be stuck in quicksand. Nothing else to us to do but sink. Right now we have about a half a second to get busy and get moving on this program, so that we can build our communities up and have them coming to us, begging us or asking us to do business with them. Not begging. I don't want anybody begging anybody. Nobody should have to beg anybody. We should all have respect for each other and have the same amount of political power, so that we can work together to make this world better. But we're not going to be able to work together until the equality is here, and equality is not going to be here until black people start creating a community that's just as vibrant as anyone else. So we don't want to take over anything, or put anybody down or hurt anyone. That's not even what we're about. We're just about having black people, the black community, just as vibrant as the brown community, just as vibrant as the Asian community, just as vibrant as the white community, just as vibrant as the Greek community, the Jewish community, any other community, just as vibrant. There is nobody that's above anyone else, and we're all children in the sight of God. So it shouldn't be one person is better than another person just because they were born on this part of the planet, or their forefathers were born on this part of the planet. That doesn't make any sense. It should be about who's doing the right. If you're doing more right than me, then you're right. Then you are better than me because you're doing the right, not because I was born in another part of the planet and you was born on another part of the planet. That's ridiculous. That's foolish. But that's a concept that is has been pushed on us. Anyway, don't want to get into all of that, but anyway, check us out. Go to the website, theurbanbusinessnetwork.com, for more support and more information about what you could do to try to support the black business people and to create a community and economy so that we don't have to beg anyone else for anything anymore.